So I think in fact, I think it's John's session that you go through, connecting with introducers or, people related to that industry. So accountants, solicitors, anyone that might have a sort of bank of business, business owners, that type of thing. You go out and you start networking with people and making these connections. And just building those relationships. And Lee, I think you touched on, or John, I think you touched on it. This industry, as in financial services, is required in good times because businesses are looking to expand, take on people, buy new premises, buy new vans, whatever. But it's also needed in bad times, like where we are at the moment. Unfortunately, businesses are struggling to survive, and they need that assistance to find funding.
Yeah, thanks for bringing John into it. I think when I was talking about some of the training on the commercial side, the piece that John does around networking and building connections with introducers is a fantastic part of the training. But the reason I asked you the question is because you've taken that training on board and you've literally gone away and put it to practice. So yeah, John is probably one of the most naturally gifted networkers I've come across. But it's nice to know that you can take what he talks about in that room and put it to practice in real life. So yeah. Definitely, I want to get you more involved in this Q&A than me and John.
Let me just jump onto that, because it's a really good point that actually on the training we do share best practice. We've got some very successful partners within the network, and one of my questions when anyone starts to become successful, whether it's with large cases or lots of cases being submitted, is to ask where they've got it from. And there's some really quirky things that people do, and we share that as well. But the most important thing is exactly what Darren's talked about, which is building relationships, because most of the business that comes through the practice here is as a result of a relationship in some form or other. So yes, you can do digital marketing. We've actually got our live Q&A this afternoon from one of our network partners going to share what he's done with a digital marketing strategy. You can also be fortunate and just have the right sort of connections in the first place, or use social media. But the vast majority of business that comes through here is because someone has had a conversation with someone. They've got a relationship, whether it's with Darren or whether it's one of our other network partners. So this guy wants to borrow money. Well, I know Darren. I've built a relationship with Darren over the past 3, 6, 9, 12 months or beyond. I know he delivers what he says, and therefore let me refer you on to Darren, because actually he's better placed than I am to tell you where to raise the finance from. So building relationships with somewhere between 6 and a dozen more, if you've got the time and energy to do so, introducers that will send you cases on a regular basis will keep you very busy. And it's a fundamental principle. All the other bits you can do as well, and we share that. But it's those relationships, and you build reciprocal relationships so you can refer business back to them. That's when you start to become part of that business community, and you benefit from being involved in that business community, and you give back to that business community. So they're the techniques that we try and encourage you to get involved in. And if you follow what we do, then you'll be successful and very busy, like Darren clearly is.